we are finally outside and actually running. I'm having to calm my ego down just a little bit while I'm doing this run because I want to go fast and I want to run like I was running right before the Freight Train 100K. But I have to remind myself that I ran that ultramarathon and then I got pneumonia after, and then I haven't ran for 7 weeks. So kind of battling my ego right now, trying to slow down, you know, trying to just maintain a heart rate under 150. But I'm getting excited and I'm surging up hills and stuff, and my heart rate's going into that zone 3 area, but it is to be expected. So just going out today. Today is a about 7-mile run, and then we're gonna do lower body again, probably quad dominant. So once we come back, I have a dinner date at the in-laws house. I'm gonna do that and then come back, maybe do a 30-minute like warm-up run on the treadmill, and then hit some quad dominant lower. So that's the plan for today. Today was a pretty good day. I mean, I'm trying to change my mentality a little bit. For the past couple months, I've been very poo-poo, pee-poo, whining and crying. Oh, woe is me. And it's just been affecting every portion of my life. So trying to change the mentality more into the positive zone. And hey, it's working. Just kind of flipping that switch helps quite a bit. So getting out here, doing what I love, running in the rain. It's all foggy and rainy out. So I gotta do what I love. I gotta get back into running, get back into lifting weights. So there's only one way we can go, and that's up. So gonna get this run in. Nothing else much. It's an easy run. Just trying to swell the ego, like I was saying before. Not bringing any extra nutrition. I drink a shitload of water today. Probably at like 2 liters right now, with some liquid IV in there. So I got some electrolytes. So didn't really bring any extra nutrition with me. Probably should have brought a bottle of water, but who cares?
Sorry about that.
No problem, man.
Thank you, sir.
I'm just talking to myself like a butthole.
I do it all the time. So good one. I can't get myself to answer that.
But yeah, basically should have brought probably like a bottle of water with maybe some electrolytes, maybe some calories, because I've been tracking my calories and I'm pretty deficient, but I'll figure that out as we get going. I'm already going a little bit way too fast. My heart rate's at like 165, but that's kind of something that I've been also noticing. And this might be like a little side tangent, but every time that I actually run with people during ultramarathons, I end up getting into like a hole. I end up kind of like feeling way worse than running by myself. And it's because, and I think it's because I get distracted and I'm mostly breathing through my mouth because I like to talk a lot. I don't like to breathe when I talk because I'm an asshole and an idiot. So I think in the ultramarathons for 2024, I'm gonna try to not run with anybody or try to pick up anybody during these runs, because I mean, talking just to the camera right now, it's really affecting how I'm pacing and how I'm breathing. And because I have asthma and all the lung issues, if I stop actively thinking about my breathing, it seems to affect me way more than most people. Like, just talking will increase my heart rate by 20 beats per minute. So I don't think it's worth it. It's fun to have that camaraderie and that community, but man, the effects that it has on my fatigue and my breathing, it's just kicking my ass. So I'll watch that as this training goes on. And when I start getting into these other ultra marathons for this year, but breathing is going to be a big theme for this training cycle. So let me get this run done. Once again, it's just about 7 miles, easy run, trying to stay in that zone 2, maybe throw in a couple strides at the end, and then gonna go eat dinner, another quick warm-up run, and then a quick quad dominant lower body lift with some triceps. Only adding in triceps because I'm gonna give my chest another week to recover, and I'm just gonna throw them in with the lower today. So let's get this fucking run done, and then I'll see you next time I'm in the home gym. Will a monster pop out of there, eat my fucking soul? Possibly. Possibly. It's a portal to another dimension. Monsters are gonna come out, fucking eat my dick off. Alright, check you guys back when I'm at the actual gym. Let's go. Alright, so we are finally back home. It took a little bit longer at Grandma's house, but hey, it was fun. Got some good food, got some cookies and all that jazz, and we are going to return to working out. So the plan today is going to be a quad dominant lower. My hamstrings and glutes are still freaking fried. It's been like 2 days and they're still destroyed. So I'm going to take it a little bit lighter on the quads because, you know, even if you're targeting a single part of your legs, you're still going to target everything else unless you're like on isolation machines. I'm in my home gym, so I'm going to target the quads as much as possible. But I know, you know, the hamstrings and the glutes are gonna get hit a little bit. So gotta keep the weight a little bit lighter, but still gonna try to do some damage to the quads. So the first workout is just gonna be front squats with kettlebells. So just holding them kind of like to the side during front squats, trying to target the quads as much as possible. Then we're gonna move into reverse lunges with an elevated front foot. And then we might just do some air squat, like an air squat burnout to finish them off. Nothing too crazy for the quads and the lower, and then we'll jump right into triceps. Once again, the chest is still sore, are still beat up and still injured, so just kind of eliminating that from the workouts for probably another week. And then, so that's why I'm doing lower and triceps. Kind of a weird split, but whatever. We're gonna get what we can get. So let's start this first set. All right, let's go. Let's go. All right. Oh, forgot to break down. So the run today it ended up being 7.5 miles. So on the first clips, I got 7.5 miles on that run, raining the entire time, a mix of bike trail and gravel trail. So didn't push it too hard. My heart rate was like, man, my heart rate was like 160 the whole time, or like 160 to 170 the whole time. But I'm not 100% sure I believe it. I'm trying a new heart rate monitor that goes around my arm. I was easily breathing through my nose the entire time. It didn't feel like I was really struggling that hard or breathing that hard or anything. But then I looked down at my watch and it was like 170, which I usually know just from running for a couple years in that zone 2 when I'm in zone 2. And I don't think it was that high. I don't think my heart rate was that high. So I'm gonna have to test the rest heart rate. I got a chest heart rate strap, so I'm gonna test that heart rate monitor, see if it's actually accurate, because I was not moving fast. I think the average pace for that run was around 9:10 or 9:05. And then I got about 500 feet of elevation gain. So there was a little bit more like rolling hills and stuff like that, but nothing too crazy for my heart rate to be pumping up that high at that pace. So I'm gonna have to double check that. I'm really just going off of like perceived feelings. But you know, it might be the pneumonia still lingering around, or a sickness still probably not pneumonia, that'd be kind of fucking insane, but like maybe like the sickness that I picked up after the pneumonia still lingering around, so that might be actually affecting my heart rate. So I'm gonna watch my resting heart rate, and I'm gonna watch my working heart rate also. And that's just to kind of stay perceptive of like how the body feels. If I notice that I'm actually having a much higher heart rate than what I'm actually running, or that I'm usually used to running at, I'll just kind of cut the miles down for another week. So this week I'm probably going to be aiming for like 40 to 50. And then if everything goes good, I'll be like 50 to 60 next week, and then I'll maintain that for a couple weeks. But if my heart rate and my fatigue is at such a high level where I'm at a very, very slow rate, a 10-minute mile pace, a 9:30-minute mile pace on pretty flat land, my heart rate's getting up to like 170, then yeah, I'll keep my freaking mileage for next week down to like 30 miles a week or 40 miles a week, just to give my body a little bit more time to catch up with the actual effort that I'm putting in. So I'll keep an eye on that. I'll keep an eye on my actual fatigue levels. So to hopefully fucking prevent getting sick again, or overtraining, or pulling something, or causing some injuries. So just trying to be perceptive. Yeah, just trying to be perceptive of everything in my body. So then, you know, during this base building, during this re-entry, I don't get hurt or I don't get sick. So then I can actually start building when I finally figure out what I'm gonna do for my first ultramarathon back or marathon back, whatever it may be. But I have about like a 2-month period, a 2 to 3 month period, probably like 2 months, where I can just build the base, get brought back into a normal routine of weightlifting and running. And then once I'm nice and secure with that, I can actually look into getting up a race, and they'll have like a month or a 2-month build up, a very specific 2-month build up to like a 50K or a marathon or whatever it may be, or whatever I may choose to actually do. I might just do like a really intense fun challenge. If you guys have any suggestions, throw them in the comments below. So let me just I'll probably hit 3 more sets. I'll probably hit 3 more sets of these front squats with the kettlebells, and then we'll move right into the reverse lunges holding these kettlebells as well. I'm also wearing this medium Dragon Ball Z shirt. I don't know why. This is supposed to be a large. I'm not a huge guy. I feel like I'm like supposed to be standing in front of whoa, I don't even know what that freaking Abercrombie and Finch. Like I should be standing there and just be like, what's up, bro? Yo, come in. But also, check out my sweet huaraches. Yeah, those are back from my barefoot days. I actually ran 25 miles. The longest I ran in huaraches was 25 miles. And I didn't do it on a dirt trail or anything else. I did it on a freaking bike path in Rhode Island. And it felt like my feet were gonna fall off after that. It seriously felt like I had tenderized meat as feet. That was the dumbest fucking idea ever, because you know, the whole primal movement, the whole minimal shoe movement, it's like based on when there wasn't paved roads. So why the fuck am I running barefoot on a paved freaking path? I'm not the smartest person. This is why you don't take my advice on lifting weights or running, just motivation. It's just like, oh, look at this asshole. Yeah, he's doing some dumb shit. At least I can do some smart shit. Okay, so let's get right into the set. I'm kind of procrastinating because those front squats made my legs really tired. Because I'm a pussy. So, so let's get right into it. So we're just gonna do 10 each leg. I'm gonna pretty much just do 2 sets for each leg, 4 total for the lower body. I'm lowering the sets because how my freaking legs feel right now. I definitely probably shouldn't be working out on sore legs, but I'm kind of just throwing my body into the deep end and seeing how it reacts this week. So doing it smartly, doing it with a little bit less weight than I normally would do, and way less intensity, and seeing how my body actually responds to the weightlifting and running and weightlifting and running and all that jazz. But let's get right into it. So the front foot is firmly planted 3 inches above the ground, kind of putting your knee or your back leg a little bit further than like really comfortable. It's not like you're just naturally standing there. And when you go down to actually do your lunge, you are making sure that you're not too far forward, where that's putting a lot of unnecessary pressure on your knee, or too far back, where you're like unbalanced and putting a lot of pressure on your hip flexors and everything like that. So that nice center ground where your knee is just barely going above or in front of your toes. All right, let's go. Yeah, man, my legs are fried. I take off these huaraches because they're sliding all over the place. All right, so if you hear some popping, cracking, it's my ankles. That's just from running. Just a lot of pops and cracks that are going on. That's why I do take a lot of CBD to help the joints a little bit. So we're gonna go right into the burnout with just air squats. Hopefully the number that I wanna hit is 50. So I wanna hit 50 air squats before I stop that first iteration, then I wanna go 25. Let's see how many I can actually get after a whole week of running. I think I have a total of like only 30 miles of running, but this is the first week back. So around 30 miles of running under my legs, 25 to 30 miles of running under my legs, and then 3 workouts, 2 lower body workouts. So let's see how much juice these legs actually have in them. Okay, I didn't give myself much of a break after that set, but hey, we're burning out, so who the fuck cares? So let's get right into it. I have no idea how am I at. When am I gonna fucking fail? Gripping assholes legs. Alright, let's call it there. Holy fuck. So, not 100% sure how many you got. I probably could have squeezed out a couple more, but the form started suffering, and then I started feeling it in my lower back, so probably just being a pussy, or probably just being a boo-boo, little boo-boo poo-poo. But I probably could have squeezed out, at least 20 more, 10 more, at least 10 more. So this next set, we're gonna do very little rest, and then we're not gonna lock out our legs, or we're not gonna lock out our knees, and we're not gonna reposition. So I was repositioning. So I'm just gonna stay in a locked position and then go right to the point of full extension in my knees when I'm standing up, but just slightly before that, so that it's time under tension the entire time. So hopefully that will fry out my quads a little bit more, keeping my feet a little bit closer. I can really feel it in my hip flexors and quads a little bit more, so I'll keep them pretty narrow, and we'll just see how many we can actually get. I'm gonna go slower this time also. So I'm gonna go slower and no tension relief. So hopefully I can get 25. Let's see if we can get 25. All right, let's go. I think I have like about a minute of rest. Oh, fuck. Oh yeah, that's way harder. Oh, fuck. Oh, oh, yep, that's way harder. So if you want to fucking burn out your fucking legs doing air squats, go slower. A world of difference on the tension between going fast and going slow, and not giving my quads or body or legs time to actually recover, even if it's for a split of a second. Just like taking off that tension real quick, it really fucking helps. I mean, that's with everything. Just think about when you're running, when you're out there running on the trails and you have a heart rate monitor, you could be running at like 170 beats per minute, 165 beats per minute in that zone 3. You stop and take a pee, you look at your watch and it's already at like 130. So, you know, just that slight slop, or like slight slowing and like release of tension, that really helps your body like, oh man, okay, breathe, okay, go, let's go. Oh, breathe, okay, let's go. So the rest is just gonna be triceps. I'm gonna hit skull crusher, I'm gonna hit some skull crushers. I'm gonna hit some cable pull downs with that little pulley system that I showed you guys on the last video, and then I'll probably burn out with just some regular like prison style dips. Some chair dips are on the bench, just some like regular reverse dips. I won't show the triceps, maybe on a different video, but it's just, you know, just this movement with weight in your hands, this movement with weight in your hands or with a cable in your hand, and then this movement with your body weight. It's basically all the same thing. The triceps aren't complicated, aren't that, it's not that complicated of muscle, so there's not really any reason to show the whole thing. But if I think of something that's super duper amazing, then yeah, we'll go from there. When I was watching Simon Gerard, I met that dude, or I saw him in the Mid-State Massive, super friendly guy. He goes all around, runs ultramarathons all throughout the world. His racing schedule is absolutely crazy. He just finished the Hurt 100, so watching that video, getting a little amped up for the new season of ultramarathon running for 2024. Hopefully I can do it nice and jacked diesel. So let me get this workout done and then we'll do a nice outro after the triceps are appropriately worked out. All right, let's go. All right, we are complete. That was a pretty good workout. I mean, you know, nice and simple, nice and chill. Actually, that burnout for those squats were not chill. Ended up doing skull crushers, some cable pull downs, and then I burnt out on some like tricep kickbacks. I always like those. I mean, I use like 15 pounds and I just go really slow. And by 10, my freaking triceps are absolutely destroyed. So it was a good day. So just gonna chill out. I mean, my kids it's like a teacher work day tomorrow. So they don't have school tomorrow. So I just get to stay up as late as I want because I don't have to take any babies to school and chill out. I mean, as long as I go to sleep by 1 a.m. I can wake up at 9, get 8 hours of sleep, and we'll be good to go. That's the benefit of working from home. You can basically like roll out of bed and just start working. So, if you have that opportunity, it really helps with your ultra marathon and recovery and sleep career because, everything's accessible in your house. Your work's accessible. There's no commute time. Commuting 2 hours a day really cuts down on your actual ability to actually get really good workouts in. When I was working oh my God, it was terrible. When I first got out of the military and got my degree, I was living in Tampa and I was working for like Time Magazine in their marketing department as a marketing specialist. And I worked in a cubicle. So going from Ranger Regiment to sitting in a cubicle working on freaking like calendars of mailers, it was like living in my own personal hell. Just like cubicle life, office life right after Ranger Regiment. That was terrible. But basically what I did when I actually was working in a cubicle was I would bring my clothes to work. We had an hour-long lunch, so I would shove a bunch of food in my mouth, and then I would change real quick, and I would go out and run for an hour, or I'd run for like 50 minutes. So I would get at least 6 to 7 miles in, and then when I wanted to actually hit the gym, I would make sure that I bring my bag of clothes, and I would always have that packed, and I would always have it in my car the day before I went to work. So I had no excuses. Oh, I forgot my gym clothes. Oh, blah, blah, blah. It's just right after work, jump into the car, right to the gym and work out. So there's no excuses. There's no nothing. You don't go to your house, relax and be like, never mind. I'm just gonna skip today. Those small little simple hacks really help you stay consistent. So, if you're working in a cubicle, run during your lunch break. It's pretty shitty. It kind of fucking sucks. I had to take like little crappy baths, like towel baths inside the sink. I would just get like either wet wipes and just like wipe myself down so I didn't smell like crap, or I would take like a towel and like wipe myself down of all the sweat. I'm sure I was the stinky guy, but hey man, I got goals. Or I would make sure that I had my gym bag in my car the night before, packed and ready to go. So then I would hit the gym right away after work was done. So those small little things, you know, packing your food, making sure everything's prepared, making sure everything's scheduled, really helps you stay consistent. And no matter what you're doing, consistency is always king. So as long as you stay consistent, and no matter what it actually takes for you to stay consistent, finding little hacks, finding little tricks, do it. Because hey man, we all have fucking goals, and the only way that you can make it up those goals is one step at a time. But if you take a bunch of steps and then you just fall off and slide down, then you're back at the bottom. Then you have to keep going, and then you're gonna slide down, back going. So, you know, just make sure that like when you take these little steps, you have little spikes in your shoes. So then when you start sliding down, you catch yourself, and then you're not sliding down all the way to the bottom, and you can stay fucking consistent so you can make it to your motherfucking goal, because that's what this is all about. So once again, make sure that you chip away. Be happy, be nice, be kind, chip away, become an average savage, run towards fear. Do not fear fear, run towards it, because that is where we will change. That is where we'll stay consistent, and that is where we will actually figure out who the fuck we are, challenge ourselves, and become better after facing adversity. Rah, rah, rah.